I think for our community the most interesting thing was that we enjoyed the simplicity of the shared conversations and the fact that you felt listened to, and there was an overwhelming feeling of the Holy Spirit at work within the small group we had. The biggest challenge was getting more people to come along and engage within that synodal process of coming along to the meetings, whether it was the time or the day. It just felt a bit of a challenge. People weren't taking up that invitation to come along, which was a shame because it was a very rewarding experience.
For me, the best part of the process has been exploring listening and relearning listening. And we often listen, and then we don't listen for long enough, we don't listen properly, we just hear, and then we're very anxious to put our own words into the discussion. What I've learned is that listening is so important, and listening is a gift to the person who's speaking, and to give them enough time to be able to express what they want to express without any stimulation from the listener is so important.
That's the most interesting thing that you heard when you were listening.
You have to be prepared to be surprised, and perhaps not to express surprise because that interferes with the process, but you might be surprised that people will actually say things that are critical of certain aspects of the church, and it's to listen to those. And I suppose it's then you have to work with those ideas and sort of turn them into positive ways of moving forwards, and not just accept it as, oh, this is wrong, this is bad. It's got to be used to reform the way we work with each other.
The greatest joy has been the response from each of the parishes within the partnership. Each parish has gone through its own consultative process in order to produce their own answers, their own insights, their own discernment into what has become the partnership document. In collating those responses, it's been both uplifting and inspiring to know that there are so many people there who are willing to be guided by the Holy Spirit, willing to seek His path, and willing to seek His guidance.
The joys of this process really are meeting up with so many people with so many really good things to talk about the church. I mean, what needs to happen. And everybody seems to be coming up with different things, which is marvellous. We're not saying the same thing over and over again. There's things I hadn't thought of. I mean, my thing is, the whole women thing, the whole inclusive language, and yet there's people talking about other things. People talking about the youth, about the environment, about all different things. It's almost like the Spirit has come and given us one thing each to talk about. Here's your thing, and here's your thing. So, I mean, that's marvellous, isn't it? That's really good. Yeah.
And coming along today has been a real joy to hear a lot of people saying the same things, and truth being spoken, and especially a good atmosphere, even though some things were said that the clergy aren't listening, etc., etc. But in the end of the day, there was a good atmosphere, and people felt. And when you can go away saying you've said all you can say, it's been heard, it was done in a joyful atmosphere, in a friendly atmosphere with good talking. So that's a good feeling to go away with, and hope. You just hope, don't you, and believe. And as the Bishop says, there's going to be a lot more in the process, and as we said, this is the first time that the Pope has actually addressed laity. A Pope, never mind the Pope. So they do feel that they've had a say, and we just have to leave that in the hands of God. But I think, as the other point that I made, laity have to take their own responsibility. And, it's all very well going to church and ticking the box, but in the end of the day, we're fed and we're sent out to go and do something. And not many people, laity, really understand that.
And the real joys of this process have been really taking a leaf out of the early church's book of you know, when things were getting started, when things were really exciting, the church journey together, it was a case of everyone is on the same path, everyone's finding their feet and working out how does this all work, how do we get to reach people and share the good news. And this is our opportunity to do that, I think. After the pandemic, after all that we've gone through over the past 18 months, 2 years, this is our opportunity to start fresh, to reach out to people who have fallen away, who have never been to church, who have just a hunger that they want to hear something and share something. And this is an opportunity for us to do that, I think.
We've had a very fruitful morning, I think, talking about all sorts of things. And especially, I think the two words that are most powerful for me are trust and confidence. That we go forward trusting each other and with a confidence in the joy and the power of the gospel of Christ's message, which we can all share.